Hey everybody, today on 3MG Mr. Brett Sparks has given me his, what he says, impossible task of trying to explain how we balance our music and our relationships and our work life and all these things. So, today we're going to look into it and try to figure out what are we even trying to do.
What are we doing today?
So let's start with the job and the music, and we'll go on to the relationships and the music a little later on. So the first thing you need to know, is it work or is it play? So what I mean is the money that you make from playing music absolutely necessary to your life? Like, if you don't play X amount of days a week, will you be able to stay where you live and things of that sort? So what you need to look at, we're trying to achieve a balance. So we need to look at ways that we can take away from things to add to others to make everybody around us happy and ourselves. So if you work a day job a lot and it makes most of your money, then you need to figure out, well, how much money do I have to make from music, or do I even need to? Because you can make yourself more time if it's optional that you're even playing. And then also, if you maybe don't play as much as you'd like and you don't need the money, then maybe you can play for less money. Maybe even if you have a band and you don't need as big a cut as the other guys in the band, so you can help them work out their work and music balance that way. Next, we'll go into the relationship side of it. So if you have wives or husbands, it's not very practical to just get rid of them because you've got some gigs. So you need to say to yourself, what do I want from this, like, as a relationship with music? So while it may be very fun to play gigs and have girls throw ice creams at us, that's not going to be very conducive to keeping a wife. So if that's the reason you do it, then you need to find out, you and your significant other, if that's something that can continue, or if you need to change what it is that you're trying to do with yourself. Next, let's talk about time. All right, so when I think of work, I think about time. You're paid for time. That's what we all have that we sell, if you want to think of it that way. And your relationship with people and with your hobbies and with your music is all constrained into your finite amount of time that you have. So you need to make the most out of what you have. So let's say, for instance, if you play all these gigs and you don't have a day job, but then your woman doesn't like that you're never home at night, you need to make the time that you are home more valuable by, like, say, doing chores, because you have all day. If she works and you have all day, then you don't have much of an excuse to not do anything. You see what I'm saying? This way, you can build some points up, if you will, that you can then spend on drinks and silliness when you're playing later on and maybe making most of your money. Now, let's say your relationships are fine, but between all the working that you do and all the music that you're playing, you feel like you're doing two really hard jobs. You need to ask yourself, do I need to move one to the other? So for instance, if you're playing a lot and you're making plenty of money, you may look and say, can I scale this up a little bit more and not even have to do the day job? Or oppositely, maybe I only need to play one night a week, maybe for slightly more money, and have more time to do your regular job and to then have time for yourself and things of that sort. Remember, we're trying to balance. We're not trying to necessarily have it all. The last tip is a bit of a cheat code. So what I want to say here is, if you don't have enough time, because that is what we're trying to balance these many things around, then what if you make some of your time more valuable? If it's more important to you to play music than do other things, then make that be valuable to the market, so that then other people can sort of see where you're coming from, i.e. your friends, your wife, your job, things of that sort. What I mean you have a limited supply. Control demand with price. You may be in a band and you're making nearly all you can make, but if you have to have more than say, look, man, I can only play so often for so much, or it's going to need to be more, and then I can be here more often, because otherwise you don't have the juice to get anybody behind what you're trying to do. I hope that makes sense. Controlling the demand by the price is like the most basic and underutilized bit of music economics that there is, and I may do another video on it and try to get more people doing it, because we could all be making more money if there was a bit more of a movement for the quality and the value of the time. Anyway, there you go. Those are my ideas and tips, and you tell me, was it in fact an impossible task to try to break down some ideas for achieving a balance in life where you want to have a microphone and act like a child on weekends? People do it.